Why do so many Japanese adults appear naturally slim without spending every morning in the gym or following extreme diets? The answer is not one miracle drink, one forbidden food, or one secret exercise. It is a simple morning rhythm built around light movement, balanced portions, mindful eating, and small habits that prevent overeating before the day even begins. While many people start the morning rushed, dehydrated, and hungry, this Japanese-inspired routine prepares the body calmly, creating energy without heaviness and discipline without punishment. Today, you will discover 7 morning habits that can help you feel lighter, control cravings, and manage your weight naturally. Stay until the final habit because it explains why simple consistency succeeds where strict diets repeatedly fail, and comment "I'm ready" if you will try this Japanese morning routine tomorrow. Wake up at the same time and teach your body a rhythm. The first Japanese morning habit begins before food, before tea, and before exercise. It begins with the hour you open your eyes. Most people think staying slim is only about what they eat, but the body also responds to rhythm. When you wake up at a different time every day, skip meals, rush through mornings, and sleep far later on weekends, your appetite can become just as disorganized as your schedule. One morning you wake early and eat quickly. The next morning you sleep late and skip breakfast. Another day you grab something sweet because there is no time. By lunchtime you are exhausted, extremely hungry, and ready to eat whatever is available. This is where many unhealthy choices begin, not with a lack of willpower, but with a morning that has no structure. A Japanese-inspired routine is calmer. You do not need to wake up at 4 in the morning. You do not need a painful alarm or an extreme schedule. The real secret is consistency. When you wake within the same general time each day, your body begins to understand when the day starts, when movement begins, and when food is likely to arrive. That rhythm creates control. Imagine 2 different mornings. In the first, you wake up late, immediately check your phone, rush out of bed, skip water, and leave home without eating. A few hours later, your energy crashes. You begin craving sugar, strong coffee, fried food, or anything that promises instant energy. By the time lunch arrives, you are not eating calmly. You are eating like someone trying to recover from the entire morning. Now imagine a different morning. You wake at a familiar time. You open the curtains. Natural light enters the room. You sit up, breathe, drink water, move gently, and prepare yourself without panic. You are no longer reacting to the day. You are leading it. That is the real power of a consistent waking time. It gives you space between sleep and stress. Many people begin the day by giving their attention to notifications, messages, and problems before they have even given attention to their own body. Within minutes, the mind is crowded, the breathing becomes shallow, and the entire morning feels urgent. But when you begin slowly, you make better decisions. You notice whether you are truly hungry. You have time to prepare a balanced breakfast. You are less likely to depend on sugary drinks for energy. You may even feel more willing to walk, stretch, or move because the morning does not already feel lost. A stable wake-up time also helps protect the night before. When you know when morning begins, you become more conscious of when the day should end. You may stop staying awake for one more video, one more episode, or one more hour of scrolling. This matters because a tired body often looks for quick comfort. When people sleep poorly, they may feel less motivated to move and more attracted to convenient, high-energy foods. The next morning becomes harder, the evening becomes later, and the cycle repeats. The Japanese lesson is not to punish yourself into discipline. It is to make healthy choices easier by creating order. Start with a realistic time. Choose a waking window you can maintain on most days. It does not need to be exact to the minute. Even staying within the same 30 to 60-minute range can make your routine feel more stable. When the alarm rings, avoid beginning the day with negotiation. Do not lie there asking whether you feel motivated. Place your feet on the floor. Open the curtains. Let daylight reach your eyes. Take several calm breaths. Drink some water. These actions send a clear message. The day has begun. Do not expect the first morning to transform you. The power comes from repetition. At first, waking consistently may feel uncomfortable because your old rhythm is still stronger. But after several days, the body begins to recognize the pattern. You may start waking before the alarm. You may feel hungry at a more predictable time. You may notice that mornings require less effort. And once your morning becomes predictable, your choices become easier to manage. This is why lasting weight control is rarely built through one dramatic decision. It is built by removing chaos from ordinary moments. A person who wakes consistently has time to hydrate. A person who hydrates has time to notice real hunger. A person who notices hunger can choose food more calmly. A person who begins calmly is less likely to spend the rest of the day recovering from the morning. Everything connects. So tomorrow, do not begin by trying to change your entire diet. Begin by changing the way your day starts. Wake up at a time you can respect. Open the room to light. Stand up before your excuses become louder. And remember this. A naturally slim lifestyle does not always begin with eating less. Sometimes it begins with waking up to your life at the same time every day. Start your morning with water, not sugar. The second Japanese-inspired habit is surprisingly simple, yet many people completely overlook it. Before reaching for coffee loaded with sugar, sweet juices, or flavored drinks, begin your morning with a glass of water. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body naturally wakes up slightly dehydrated. Replacing that lost water should be your first priority. Many people mistake thirst for hunger. They wake up feeling tired, immediately crave something sweet, and end up consuming hundreds of unnecessary calories before the day has truly begun. A glass of water gives your body a fresh start. It helps you feel more awake, prepares your digestive system for breakfast, and creates a small pause before you begin eating. Many Japanese people also enjoy unsweetened green tea as part of their morning routine. Unlike sugary drinks, green tea offers a refreshing start without turning breakfast into a dessert. It becomes a calm ritual rather than a sugar rush. This habit is not about finding a miracle drink that melts fat overnight. There is no such thing. The real secret is replacing habits that quietly add unnecessary calories every single day. One sugary drink may not seem like much, but repeated every morning for months or years, it can make a significant difference. Tomorrow morning, before you reach for anything else, drink 1 full glass of water. Then choose a simple, unsweetened drink if you want tea or coffee. Sometimes staying naturally slim isn't about adding something extraordinary to your routine. It's about replacing one small habit with a better one that your body will thank you for every single day. Move your body before you sit all day. One of the biggest reasons many Japanese people stay naturally active is that movement is part of their daily routine, not something they save only for the gym. Before the day becomes filled with sitting at a desk, driving, or looking at a screen, many people begin the morning with gentle movement. It doesn't have to be an intense workout. A few minutes of stretching, light walking, simple body movements, or traditional Japanese radio exercises are enough to wake up the muscles and prepare the body for the day ahead. The goal is not to burn hundreds of calories before breakfast. The goal is to remind your body that it was designed to move. Think about how most mornings begin. Many people wake up, check their phone, sit while eating breakfast, sit in the car, sit at work, and continue sitting for most of the day. Hours pass before the body has done any meaningful movement. A Japanese-inspired morning breaks that pattern immediately. Open the curtains, stretch your arms toward the ceiling, roll your shoulders, take a short walk outside, or spend 5 to 10 minutes gently moving every part of your body. These small movements improve circulation, increase alertness, and help you feel energized naturally instead of depending only on caffeine. The beauty of this habit is that anyone can do it. You don't need expensive equipment, a gym membership, or an hour of free time. Even a few minutes every morning can build a routine that lasts for years. Remember, naturally slim people don't always exercise harder. Very often they simply move more, and they start moving earlier. A healthier body isn't built by one exhausting workout. It's built by choosing movement every single morning before the rest of the world asks you to sit still. Eat a balanced breakfast instead of a sugar rush. One of the biggest differences between a traditional Japanese morning and many modern breakfasts is not the amount of food, it is the quality and balance of the meal. In many parts of the world, breakfast has become one of the sweetest meals of the day. Sugary cereals, pastries, donuts, sweetened yogurt, pancakes covered in syrup, flavored coffee drinks, and processed snacks may taste good for a short time, but they often leave you hungry again only a few hours later. That cycle is familiar to many people. You eat a breakfast loaded with sugar, your energy quickly rises, then just as quickly falls. By mid-morning, you begin craving another snack, another sweet drink, or something high in calories because your body is searching for another burst of energy. Many Japanese-inspired breakfasts take a different approach. Instead of focusing on foods that create a quick sugar rush, they are built around balance. A traditional meal may include steamed rice, grilled fish, eggs, miso soup, tofu, fermented soybeans, seaweed, or seasonal vegetables. Not every Japanese family eats this exact breakfast today, but the philosophy behind it remains powerful. Every meal should leave you feeling satisfied, energized, and ready for the day, not heavy, sleepy, or hungry again an hour later. What makes this style of breakfast so effective is not one magical ingredient. It is the combination of protein, healthy carbohydrates, fiber, and simple, minimally processed foods. Protein helps keep you full for longer. Fiber supports digestion and slows hunger. Moderate portions of carbohydrates provide steady energy instead of sudden spikes and crashes. Warm foods like soup or tea naturally encourage slower eating, giving your body more time to recognize when it has had enough. This is one reason many naturally slim people rarely feel the need to snack constantly throughout the morning. Their breakfast is designed to nourish the body instead of simply satisfying a craving. The good news is that you don't have to copy a traditional Japanese breakfast exactly. The real lesson is balance. If you enjoy eggs, pair them with vegetables instead of sugary pastries. If you eat oatmeal, add fruit and a source of protein instead of extra sugar. If rice is common in your culture, enjoy a moderate serving with protein and vegetables rather than eating refined snacks. The goal is not perfection. The goal is creating a breakfast that works with your body instead of against it. Another important habit is eating slowly. Many people eat breakfast while scrolling through their phones, watching television, answering emails, or rushing out the door. They barely notice the taste of their food before the meal is finished. In many Japanese households, meals are treated with more mindfulness. People are encouraged to focus on the food, appreciate it, chew properly, and enjoy the experience rather than racing through it. When you slow down, something remarkable happens. Your brain has enough time to receive signals from your stomach that you are becoming satisfied. You naturally stop eating sooner because you are actually paying attention to your body. When you eat too quickly, your stomach may already be full before your brain realizes it, leading you to consume far more than you actually needed. The size of the meal matters too. A balanced breakfast should leave you comfortably satisfied, not painfully full. There is a huge difference between feeling nourished and feeling so heavy that you want to lie back down after eating. Japanese eating culture often values moderation. The purpose of breakfast is to fuel your body for the day ahead, not to overwhelm your digestive system first thing in the morning. This simple shift changes the rest of the day. When breakfast provides steady energy, you experience fewer cravings. When cravings decrease, unhealthy snacking becomes less tempting. When you snack less, your overall eating naturally becomes more balanced. And when this happens day after day, week after week, your body begins responding, not because you followed a strict diet, but because you finally gave it the kind of morning it was designed for. A naturally slim lifestyle doesn't begin by starving yourself. It begins by feeding your body wisely. Because the first meal of the day doesn't just determine how your morning feels. Very often it determines how the rest of your day unfolds. Eat until you're satisfied, not until you're full. One of the biggest secrets behind Japan's naturally slim lifestyle is not found in a special food, a miracle ingredient, or an intense workout. It is found in something far simpler: knowing when to stop eating. In many parts of the world, people are encouraged to finish everything on their plate, even after they are no longer hungry. Large portions have become normal. Oversized plates make meals look smaller than they really are, and eating until you feel completely full is often seen as satisfying. But in many Japanese households, the mindset is very different. The goal is not to eat as much as possible. The goal is to eat just enough. This philosophy has existed in Japan for generations. Meals are often served in several small bowls instead of one oversized plate. Rice has its own bowl, soup has another, vegetables, fish, tofu, or other side dishes each have their own small serving. At first glance, the meal may appear modest, but once you begin eating, something interesting happens. Because there is variety, your mind feels satisfied. Because the portions are moderate, your stomach isn't overloaded. And because each dish is eaten slowly, your body has enough time to recognize when it has received enough food. This completely changes the eating experience. Compare that with many modern breakfasts. One oversized plate stacked with pancakes, sausage, bacon, potatoes, butter, syrup, and sugary drinks. The portion is so large that people often continue eating simply because the food is still there, not because they are still hungry. The body sends signals that it has had enough, but those signals are ignored until the plate is empty. Many naturally slim people develop a different habit. Instead of asking, "Have I finished everything?" they quietly ask, "Am I still hungry?" Those two questions produce very different results. Your stomach does not need to be painfully stretched for your body to receive nourishment. In fact, eating until you feel heavy often has the opposite effect. You become sleepy. Your energy drops. You feel less interested in moving. Your body spends the next several hours trying to process more food than it actually needed. Japanese meals also encourage slower eating. Meals are not treated like races. People take smaller bites. They chew properly. They enjoy different flavors one at a time. Soup slows the pace naturally. Tea creates small pauses between bites. Conversation often replaces rushing. All of this gives the brain something incredibly valuable: time. Research has shown that your brain needs time to recognize fullness. If you eat too quickly, it is possible to consume far more food before your body finally says, "I've had enough." But when you slow down, you often discover that satisfaction arrives much earlier than you expected. Another beautiful lesson from Japanese eating is appreciation. Food is treated with respect. Meals are prepared carefully. Ingredients are chosen thoughtfully. Rather than chasing quantity, there is a greater focus on quality. This naturally encourages mindfulness. When every bite is appreciated, there is less desire to eat mindlessly while scrolling on a phone, watching television, or rushing to the next activity. Many people don't overeat because they are hungry. They overeat because they are distracted. The Japanese-inspired approach gently brings attention back to the meal itself. There is another reason this habit works so well. Smaller portions make consistency easier. Extreme diets often ask people to eat almost nothing for several weeks. Eventually, hunger becomes overwhelming, and people return to overeating because the restriction was impossible to maintain. Moderation is different. You still enjoy breakfast. You still enjoy lunch. You still enjoy dinner. You simply learn when your body has received enough. This makes the habit sustainable for years instead of days. You don't need expensive meal plans. You don't need to count every calorie. You don't need to remove every food you enjoy. You simply need to rebuild your relationship with fullness. Tomorrow morning, try one small experiment. Serve slightly less than you normally would. Eat slowly. Chew carefully. Put your spoon or chopsticks down between bites. Take a sip of water or tea. Ask yourself halfway through the meal, am I still hungry, or am I simply continuing because the food is still here? You may be surprised by the answer. Over time, your body begins trusting that it will receive enough food without needing excess. Cravings become easier to control. Portions become more natural. Energy remains steadier throughout the morning, and your meals stop leaving you exhausted. This is one of the quiet secrets behind many naturally slim people. They don't constantly fight their appetite. They learn to listen to it. Because true health is not about eating as little as possible. It is about knowing exactly when enough is enough. And that simple lesson, practiced every single morning, can quietly transform not only your body, but your entire relationship with food. Turn everyday walking into your secret fat-burning habit. If there is one habit that quietly separates many naturally slim Japanese people from the rest of the world, it is not spending more time inside a gym. It is spending less time sitting. One of the biggest misconceptions about weight management is that exercise only counts when it happens inside a fitness center. Many people believe that unless they complete an intense workout for an hour, nothing they do throughout the rest of the day matters. But the Japanese lifestyle teaches a completely different lesson. Movement does not have to be scheduled. It can simply become part of life. Walk to the train station. Walk to the supermarket. Walk to meet a friend. Walk while making a phone call. Walk after breakfast. Walk instead of taking the shortest possible route. These small moments may seem ordinary, but together they create a lifestyle where the body is constantly being reminded that it was designed to move. This is one reason why many Japanese cities naturally encourage healthier living. People often walk between stations, climb stairs instead of relying on elevators, cycle short distances, carry groceries home, and spend less time depending on cars for every small journey. Each individual walk may only last 5 or 10 minutes, but 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, another short walk after lunch, a few flights of stairs. By the end of the day, those tiny movements can add up to thousands of extra steps without ever feeling like exercise. This is where consistency quietly beats intensity. Many people go to the gym 3 times a week but remain seated for the other 23 hours of the day. They wake up, sit during breakfast, sit in the car, sit at work, sit during lunch, sit on the sofa, then wonder why one workout doesn't completely change their health. The body doesn't only respond to 1 hour of activity, it responds to how you spend the entire day. This is why many health experts now encourage reducing long periods of sitting, even for people who exercise regularly. The goal is not simply to exercise more. The goal is to sit less. Imagine 2 different people. The first person completes a 40-minute workout every morning but spends the next 12 hours almost completely seated. The second person never enters a gym but walks to work, climbs stairs several times, shops on foot, stands while working occasionally, plays with children, does household chores, and takes an evening walk. Who moved more? The answer is not always the person with the gym membership. The body recognizes movement wherever it happens. It doesn't care whether you were wearing expensive workout clothes. It simply knows that your muscles were active. This is exactly why walking is so powerful. Walking feels easy enough that people continue doing it. And the habit you continue is always more valuable than the habit you quit. Many people fail because they choose routines that require enormous motivation. They promise themselves they will wake up every morning and complete a 90-minute workout. After a few weeks, life becomes busy. Work becomes stressful. Energy becomes lower. The routine disappears. But walking rarely feels overwhelming. Almost anyone can begin with 10 minutes. Tomorrow it becomes 15, then 20. Eventually, movement becomes something your body expects instead of something you force yourself to do. Japanese neighborhoods also offer another valuable lesson. Walking is often connected to purpose. People are not walking simply to burn calories. They are walking because walking is how they live. This changes everything. When movement becomes part of everyday life, you stop asking, "Should I exercise today?" Instead, movement quietly happens without requiring another decision. You walk because the store is nearby. You walk because the station is nearby. You walk because it has become normal. That mindset removes much of the mental struggle. You no longer think of movement as punishment for eating. You begin seeing it as a natural part of living. There is another important benefit. Walking after breakfast or during the morning doesn't just help your body, it also helps your mind. Fresh air, natural sunlight, changing scenery, gentle movement. These simple experiences can reduce stress and improve your mood before the busiest part of the day begins. And this matters because stress often influences eating. Many people don't overeat because their body needs more food. They overeat because they feel mentally exhausted. A calm morning walk helps interrupt that cycle. It gives the mind space to slow down before work, responsibilities, and constant notifications take over. Even if you don't live in Japan, you can still apply the same philosophy. Park a little farther away. Walk to a nearby shop instead of driving. Take the stairs whenever it's practical. Walk your children to school. Walk while listening to a podcast. Take a 10-minute walk after breakfast before opening your laptop. None of these habits require expensive equipment. None require perfect weather. None require an athletic body. They only require one decision. Choose movement over convenience whenever possible. And perhaps the most beautiful part of this Japanese-inspired habit is that it doesn't feel temporary. You are not walking because a diet told you to. You are walking because it becomes part of who you are. That is the difference between chasing weight loss and building a lifestyle that naturally supports a healthy body. Remember, naturally slim people are not always the ones who exercise the hardest. Very often, they are simply the people who never stop moving. One walk, one staircase, one short journey, one ordinary morning at a time, because your body doesn't become healthier through one extraordinary effort. It becomes healthier through thousands of ordinary steps that quietly add up over the years. Build a morning routine you can repeat for years. The final lesson is the most important because it is the habit that keeps every other habit alive. You can drink water once. You can eat one balanced breakfast. You can take one morning walk. You can wake up early for 3 days. But one good morning will not transform your body. A lifestyle changes only when simple actions become familiar enough to continue even after motivation disappears. This is where many people fail. They do not fail because they are weak. They fail because they choose routines that are too extreme to survive ordinary life. They decide to wake up hours earlier than usual. They remove every food they enjoy. They force themselves through exhausting workouts. They promise never to eat sugar again. For a few days, the plan feels powerful, the excitement is high, the results seem close. But then a difficult morning arrives. The alarm rings after a poor night of sleep. Work becomes stressful. The weather is bad. The body feels tired. A family responsibility appears. And suddenly, the routine that looked perfect on paper becomes impossible to follow. Once one part of the plan breaks, many people give up completely. They miss one workout and stop moving for a week. They eat one heavy meal and decide the entire day is ruined. They wake up late once and abandon the morning routine. This all or nothing thinking destroys more progress than one imperfect choice ever could. A Japanese-inspired lifestyle teaches a quieter form of discipline. Instead of asking, "Can I do this perfectly?" ask, "Can I repeat this consistently?" That one question changes everything. A 10-minute walk you repeat every morning is more powerful than a 2-hour workout you perform once and never do again. A simple breakfast you can prepare regularly is more valuable than an expensive meal plan you abandon after 1 week. A realistic wake-up time is better than an extreme schedule that leaves you exhausted. A small glass of water every morning matters more than one complicated detox routine you cannot maintain. The goal is not intensity. The goal is continuity. Think about how the body changes. It does not change because of one dramatic morning. It changes through patterns. The body notices what you repeatedly eat. It responds to how often you move. It adapts to your sleeping rhythm. It reflects the choices you make most often, not the choices you make once in a moment of motivation. This is why naturally slim people may appear to have effortless habits. From the outside, it looks easy. They wake up and move. They eat moderate portions. They drink unsweetened beverages. They walk during ordinary activities. They stop eating when they feel satisfied. But these habits feel easy because they have been repeated so many times that they no longer require constant debate. The decision has already been made. They do not wake up every morning and ask whether water is a good idea. They drink it because that is simply how the day begins. They do not negotiate with themselves about every short walk. They walk because movement is part of the routine. They do not need to force themselves to eat slowly every single time. Slower eating has become familiar. This is what a powerful routine eventually does. It reduces the number of decisions you need to make, and fewer decisions mean fewer opportunities for excuses. At the beginning, however, the habit will not feel automatic. You may forget. You may resist. You may feel tempted to return to your old routine. That is normal. A habit is not weak simply because it feels difficult in the beginning. It feels difficult because the old pattern has had more practice. Perhaps you've spent years waking up late, skipping breakfast, sitting for long periods, and reaching for sugary drinks. Those actions are familiar. Your body and mind know them well. A new routine is like a path through untouched ground. At first, every step requires attention, but each time you walk the same path, it becomes clearer. Eventually, you no longer need to think about the direction. That is why patience is essential. Do not expect 7 habits to become natural in 7 mornings. Choose one habit first. Perhaps you begin with a consistent waking time. Practice it until getting out of bed feels less chaotic. Then add water. Once that feels normal, introduce 5 minutes of movement. Later, improve the balance of your breakfast. After that, begin paying attention to portions, then create more opportunities to walk. Building slowly may not feel exciting, but it creates a stronger foundation. When people attempt everything at once, every habit competes for attention. The morning becomes a long list of rules, and the routine begins to feel like another job. But when you add habits gradually, each one becomes part of the structure supporting the next. Waking consistently gives you time to hydrate. Hydration gives you a calmer beginning. A calmer beginning gives you time to move. Movement increases alertness. A balanced breakfast helps control hunger. Moderate portions prevent heaviness. Walking keeps the body active. Each habit makes the next habit easier. This is how a routine becomes a system instead of a collection of random health tips. Another important part of consistency is creating a minimum version of every habit. There will be mornings when you do not have enough time for the complete routine. On those days, do not abandon it. Shorten it. If you cannot walk for 30 minutes, walk for 5. If you cannot prepare a full breakfast, choose the most balanced, simple option available. If you oversleep, drink water and stretch for 1 minute instead of declaring the day a failure. If you eat more than planned, return to normal at the next meal instead of punishing yourself. The minimum version protects the identity of the habit. It tells your mind, this is still part of who I am, even on difficult days. This is incredibly powerful because long-term success does not depend on what you do when everything is easy. It depends on what you do when the routine becomes inconvenient. Anyone can follow a healthy plan while feeling motivated. The stronger person is the one who knows how to continue imperfectly. There is another mistake many people make. They focus only on immediate results. They wake up earlier for a week and check the scale. They walk for several mornings and expect visible transformation. They change breakfast and become disappointed when the body does not respond immediately. But the Japanese approach to mastery often values repetition, patience, and gradual improvement. The purpose is not to chase a dramatic result every morning. The purpose is to improve the direction of your life. One healthy breakfast may not change your body, but 1,000 balanced breakfasts can. One short walk may not appear significant, but years of ordinary movement can shape health in ways one extreme workout never could. One morning of eating slowly may not change your relationship with food, but repeated mindful meals can teach you to recognize satisfaction before discomfort. This is the kind of progress that does not always look impressive in the beginning. It grows quietly. Your energy becomes steadier. Your cravings become easier to manage. Your portions begin feeling more natural. You stop needing motivation for every action. Your morning becomes calmer. Then one day you realize the routine no longer feels like discipline. It feels like your normal life. That is the real goal. You are not trying to spend the rest of your life forcing yourself to follow a plan. You are building a plan that becomes so natural it no longer feels forced. To make this easier, prepare the night before. Place a glass or bottle of water where you will see it. Set out comfortable clothes for your morning walk. Decide what breakfast you will prepare. Keep healthy ingredients visible and easy to reach. Move sugary snacks away from the first place you look. Set your alarm at a realistic time. Small preparation removes morning resistance. The easier the healthy action becomes, the more likely you are to repeat it. The harder the unhealthy action becomes, the less automatic it feels. This is not cheating. It is intelligent design. Many Japanese environments support healthy behavior through structure. Walking is built into transportation. Smaller serving dishes support moderate portions. Simple meals make balance easier. Regular routines reduce unnecessary decisions. You can create the same support inside your own life. Do not depend on willpower for everything. Willpower changes from day to day. Your environment can remain consistent even when your mood does not. Another powerful strategy is to connect each habit to an action you already perform. After turning off the alarm, open the curtains. After opening the curtains, drink water. After drinking water, stretch. After stretching, prepare breakfast. After breakfast, walk for several minutes. This creates a chain. One action reminds you of the next. The routine begins flowing naturally instead of requiring a separate reminder for every step. Eventually, the morning gains its own rhythm. Wake, light, water, movement, food, walking, beginning the day. Simple, calm, repeatable. Do not underestimate the emotional value of this rhythm. Many people begin their mornings feeling as though life is happening to them. The alarm attacks. The phone demands attention. The schedule creates pressure. The body feels tired. Food becomes rushed. By the time they leave home, they already feel behind. A consistent morning routine gives you one small part of the day that belongs to you, before the messages, before the responsibilities, before the demands of other people. You create a few deliberate moments where your choices are clear. That sense of control can influence everything that follows. When you begin the morning with one promise kept, you are more likely to keep another promise later. You moved even when you felt tired. You chose a balanced meal even when sweet food was easier. You stopped eating when you felt satisfied. These actions strengthen trust in yourself. And self-trust is one of the most powerful tools in any long-term transformation. Many people do not need another diet. They need evidence that they can rely on themselves. Every repeated morning becomes that evidence. You said you would drink water, and you did. You said you would walk for 10 minutes, and you did. You said you would slow down while eating, and you did. The action may look small, but the message is enormous. I can keep promises to myself. Once that belief grows, change becomes easier. You stop beginning over every Monday. You stop searching for one final perfect plan. You stop believing the next extreme routine will save you. You understand that your life will be shaped by what you quietly repeat. There will still be setbacks. Some mornings will be rushed. Some meals will be heavier. Some weeks will contain less movement. That does not erase the routine. A missed morning is an event, not an identity. Return the next day. Do not waste energy attacking yourself. Use that energy to restart. One of the strongest habits you can develop is not perfection. It is returning quickly. The person who returns after one difficult day progresses farther than the person who gives up because the plan was not flawless. So when you wake tomorrow, do not think about transforming your entire body. Think about completing the next small action. Open the curtains, drink the water, move for 5 minutes. Eat with balance, Stop before heaviness. Walk when possible. Then repeat. That is enough. The quiet truth is that millions of people who appear naturally disciplined are not making heroic decisions every morning. They are following simple patterns they have repeated for years. The results may look natural now, but they were built through consistency. And the same possibility exists for you. Not through starvation, not through punishment, not through one impossible challenge, through a morning routine gentle enough to continue, structured enough to guide you, and powerful enough to shape your body one ordinary day at a time. Because the best morning routine is not the one that looks impressive. It is the one you can still follow when no one is watching. Motivation is gone and life becomes busy. Build that routine. Protect it. Return to it. And allow small choices repeated for long enough to become the quiet force that changes everything. The Japanese morning routine is not a miracle diet, and it is not a promise that every person will have the same body, but it reveals one powerful truth. Lasting health is often built through small habits that look almost too simple to matter. Wake up with rhythm. Begin with water instead of sugar. Move your body before sitting for hours. Choose a balanced breakfast. Eat until you feel satisfied, not uncomfortable. Turn ordinary walking into daily movement. And most importantly, repeat these habits long enough for them to become part of your life. You do not need to transform everything tomorrow morning. Choose one habit. Practice it with patience. Then add another when the first one begins to feel natural. Because real change does not come from punishing your body for a few days. It comes from supporting your body every day. A calmer morning can lead to better food choices. Better food choices can reduce cravings. More movement can create more energy. And repeated discipline can slowly become a lifestyle that no longer feels difficult. So tomorrow, do not begin with perfection. Begin with water. Begin with light. Begin with movement. Begin with one promise you can actually keep. Then return to it again the next morning. Comment, "I will start tomorrow," if you are ready to try this Japanese-inspired routine. And remember, a naturally healthier body is not created in one dramatic moment. It is created through ordinary mornings repeated with extraordinary consistency.